Hello class, hello, welcome, welcome. How is everyone today? Come on in and find your seats, get comfortable. Welcome to our classroom. Thank you for being punctual to our session today. We'll await the stragglers to arrive before we take attendance. And we'll start off with a spitball right off the bat. Thank you, Aurora. As always, I am Mr. Aegis. I will be your homeroom teacher, and as ever, I'm here to have fun with you. Learn a little together, play some games, and have a relaxing time. I stream brief lessons on topics of interest to the class, first-time playthroughs, games that I've never experienced but you likely have. We also spend a little time each stream with our class pets, our ferrets, Moki and Ori. If you're new or you just haven't yet, feel free to follow the channel, join our Discord server, and follow our socials in the links in the About section. Join our little classroom community. So, how are you? How have you been, class, since the last time we saw each other? If you're new, feel free to introduce yourself. How have you been? What did you do since the last time we met? Did you do your homework and apply any of the tips we talked about in our breathing practice in our last session? Let's get our background music going here. Oh my. Flooded with that homework, yes indeed. Forgot to turn our Winamp skin on. Let's do that right now. Hello, Seals Eat Fish. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Haven't seen you in a little bit. There's our Winamp. Thank you for the gold stars, Seals Eat Fish. Thank you, thank you. Almost Pirate says you would like to be sent a bad noodle. You left class early last week and let me walk right by some sweet loot. Yes, indeed you did. When we review our behavior chart, I'll have to remember that. I'll have to remember that that happened. Seals Eat Fish, you are indeed still at the top of the chart. How could you be anywhere else? Aurora is still down in Monkey Wrench territory. There we are. Yes, indeed. Good question, Bitch Shepherd. How was your day job? How was it, whatever you did today for Friday, if you worked, or if you just had some time off? Seals Eat Fish, you don't know how to play Minesweeper, you say. Perhaps it was a little bit before your time. Oh, Pirate asking about my phone restoration. I ended up changing carriers. I decided all of the trouble that I was having with my carrier and the stolen phone, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go somewhere where they'll give me some better service. So I went across the street to another store, and they're going to give me not only a free new phone, a free new smartwatch, but I'm going to get the same deal I was getting at my existing carrier. So It all worked out pretty well in the end. My new phone will arrive tomorrow, I believe. So everything went pretty well. Oh, seal eat fish, you just had no technology when it was a thing. I see, I see. Let me know, of course, how the volume is. Had to move my microphone around a bit. Yes, indeed, Pirate, when businesses have to fight over your business, you are indeed the winner. In this case, the teacher won. I get a phone that's 2 generations newer, $0, plus the new smartwatch that goes with it. Fantastic. So I suppose even though it was a lot of stress, it worked out in the end. Somewhat ruined the last day of my experience at the convention, but I'll live. They also gave me this modem. Apparently they offer internet service now. I get a free 30-day trial of their internet service, and if it turns out to be at least as fast and as reliable as my current service, turns out it costs half as much, so even better. It's a little bit hard to get good internet service out here. I live in a little bit of a rural area. We teach in a very small school here. Just me and you in our little classroom learning community. Well, I think we have a good couple of students here, so why don't we break out our little attendance icebreaker. Class, I believe it was recently National Pie Day or something like that. So what's your favorite kind of pie? Tell me what your favorite kind of pie is. Oh, you thought Pie Day was March 14th because 314. Indeed. Maybe it was a specific type of pie day. It was like chocolate pie day or something like that. Pirate, you say pumpkin and key lime. I really like key lime pie. I like pie that has sort of a, I don't know what else to call it, a refreshing taste. Lemon meringue, key lime, very good. Bit Shepherd, cherry or peanut butter. Ooh, very decadent indeed. And Knoll Girl, you like pot pies. That's a great answer, and it is good to see you again. Welcome. Strawberry rhubarb as well, yes. There was some wild rhubarb growing in my backyard in a little wooded area. I wasn't able to pick any this year, but I will next time. Oh, Bit Shepherd, Amish fried pies. Ah. Sealsy Fish banana cream pie. When you go to Flagstaff, there's a pie place, pies and milkshakes, huh? They put pies and milkshakes. They sort of blend them up, or is it like a, have like bits of graham cracker and the whatever pie flavor it is? They blend it. Nice. Of course, I have a couple of pie-related jokes for us to start off our day. Class, why did the apple pie go to the dentist? Why did the apple pie go to the dentist? Because it needed a filling. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's good stuff. It's good. These are great jokes. Oh, come on. I didn't deserve that one. That was a good joke. Throw pie. Maybe I'll add that one. How about this? How do you fix a broken pumpkin? How do you fix a broken pumpkin? With a pumpkin patch. Oh no, girl. You can't look it up on Vine anymore. Very good one. Timely and also sad to remember the death of Vine. Rip in peace. Speaking of pumpkins, why did the pumpkin lose the boxing match? Why did the pumpkin lose the boxing match? Because he let his gourd down. What do you think of that one? What do you think of that one? Oh, 5 spitballs at once. Perhaps I did deserve that one. Perhaps I deserved that one. Come on, it wasn't that bad though. I mean, I'm not going to quit my day job. All right, all right. No more jokes. Seals eat fish. I say, why did the chicken cross the road? Well, hello, Cyrus. Welcome. Morning? Is it morning? It is morning somewhere. It's always morning somewhere. Somewhere must be facing the sun. Seals, it's because it was going to KFC. Well, probably not the best decision that it ever made in its career, in its life. Yes, indeed, Cyrus. I did see that. Sad to see. A lot of complicated, mixed feelings. We should talk about that at some point later. I'll message you about it. Oh, Seals, it was going to Raising Cane's. Well, that's a slightly better option. I suppose I can live with that one. Indeed, I'm in the same boat, Cyrus. I'm just going to hydrate a little bit here. Reminder for all of you throughout the stream, of course. I was getting a drink of water, Seals. I didn't need the apple, which I will gladly eat later. Oh, the audio triggers are a bit quiet. Let me turn those up for you. Thank you. As always, let me know about the volume, our volume levels. I can only hear myself. Yes, I can indeed turn that into an apple pie, Seals. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, our little fun fact for the day. Since we're going to review our breathing tips from the last stream, today's fun fact. So the current world record for holding one's breath is a freediver named Budimir Sobat, who has an unbelievable 24 minutes and 37 seconds holding their breath. They can hold their breath longer than the runtime of 2 full SpongeBob episodes. which is an absolutely wild fact to think about. Hard to believe, to be honest with you. I can hold my breath for maybe a minute. That's longer than it takes seals eat fish to poop. Well, I think perhaps you should get some more fiber in your diet. Maybe we'll talk about nutrition next time. The importance of that macronutrient. Or is it just a seal thing? Do seals take a very long time? Yes, 25 minutes almost. All right, class, I think it is just about time to get into our lesson for the day before we move into our gameplay for the evening. I'm going to bring us into our classroom so that we can talk about today's topic. Bit Shepherd, you say you're back from fetching water. Well, that's good. Glad you're hydrating. Your kitchen looks like a bog. Cat is laying out moss to make little snail nurseries. You have snail nurseries in your house? You keep snails? You raise snails? Raising snails? You'll have to tell us a little bit more about that. That's a little bit too interesting to just let go. A new hobby, you say? Well, that's a very interesting hobby. A nursery, you say, pirate. Very good. Very good. Snail eggs are bigger than you thought they would be, Bit Shepherd. Well, yeah, they're very small creatures. You would think their eggs would be even smaller. What made you decide to raise snails? Yes, yes, indeed. Steal a picture. Show us all. Show the class. A little show and tell. Oh, you didn't. She has many different types of animals. Well, they sound lovely. Snail will not fail. Snail will not fail. Snails never fails. Seals will steal, you say, seals. That's true. That's true. Now, do I have an updated behavior chart video? Let's see. I should. Perhaps we'll do that after the lesson. We'll see how well behaved you all are during our lesson. Seals are the king of stealing fish. Yes, yes. Pick has been obtained, Bit Shepherd. Go on ahead and send it, and I will get it up there. Oh, seals eat fish. The king of stealing the lives of innocent polar bears. Well, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Or a seals eat polar bear world out there. We are indeed sweeping minds, hard on eggs. Welcome, welcome, my good friend. And we have a picture from Bit Shepherd to share of these snails that they are apparently keeping. So let's head on into the classroom and share it. Bring myself down here just a moment. Oh, I think you missed me with your spitball there. Head down and we will enter the classroom. There we are. Indeed, Bit Shepherd dodged. Here we have some little snails and some moss. Look at that. Oh, you weren't trying to hit me. You were aiming at the sky, I thought. I see. No, it's not weed, hard on eggs. It's moss. It is not that concrete. It is not that loud. It is that snail. Dat boy. Yes, indeed, Bit. Thank you for that picture. It's very interesting. I didn't know that people raise snails. So much moss around. Hard on eggs, you're smoking that pack that makes you all slow and slimy. Don't smoke. Don't smoke, kids. Thank you very much for that. And let's take a look at where we are here on the chart. We know that the snails are going right at the top to teacher's pet, since they are indeed lovely pets. This is just the chart, seals. I don't have any clips on this one. Just going to show the chart so that people know what the chart is. Let me bring up the most recent video. I thought I had one saved. I did not have them in the right spot. Let's open it up. There we are. There is Seals Eat Fish at the top in Teacher's Pet category for our students who go above and beyond to make sure that everyone is having a good time. Then into our Good Noodle category, students who are well behaved and follow the rules. We have Caramel Bandit, Almost Pirate, Bit Shepherd, Shiko Namiva, Hard on Eggs and Mousy Prince, as you see. Bit Shepherd, you say, you told Ked what the class is saying about the moss. She mentioned that their food has hemp seed. Well, hemp is a very nutritious substance. There's a lot of good fiber in there. As far as the food stuff for animals goes, it's pretty good. I'm not surprised. An interesting fact, though. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Pirate. Make sure that they get some Doritos for those snails. Don't actually. Get them like some cucumbers or something. I've seen them eat those. Monkey Wrench, as we know, are the students who like to throw a little monkey wrench in our proceedings and be mischievous. We see Rao 2357 and, of course, Aurora the Princess there. And lastly, Bad Noodles. Students who like to be disruptive and get their fun at our expense, or at least my expense. And the one student we have in this category is, of course, Punished Bags, who happens to be our classroom aide. They should probably be better behaved, huh? What did Bags do this time, Eggs? What didn't Bags do? Indeed, with great power comes great responsibility, and with great power comes great evil. Yes, couldn't agree more. All right, class, if you're ready, I think it's time to learn. But yes, Steelsy Fish, he did not commit arson. That is one thing he did not do. So perhaps no felonies, at least. Well, class, last time we talked about breathing. Today we're going to talk about some simple stretching and movement activities to do in the morning. I think this goes pretty well with our first session on sleep health and that second session on breathing practice. I put these three at the start of our Self-Care December series because I think if you put a few of these into practice, just a few minutes in the morning and evening, it can have a significant impact on how you feel throughout the day. These three specifically, these three physical parts of self-care. If you have any questions at any time as we're talking, just let me know. We know it takes a moment for your messages to show, so I'll take pauses and wait for your questions. Our agenda, as you see, of course, we'll review briefly our lesson on breathing. We'll go into our lesson today on stretching and movement. I'll update the behavior chart with how you've been doing, and then we'll play Ace Attorney again. Steelsy Fish, you ask, what felony would you commit? That depends. If I could get away with it. I mean, it's apparently a felony. I was just watching a video. It's apparently a felony to take a lobster out of Honduras. It's a U.S. felony to bring in a lobster from Honduras. Apparently that's a felony you can commit. And Bit Shepherd, you plead the fifth. That was actually what the video was about, Bit Shepherd. It was about exercising your Fifth Amendment right. Yes, indeed I did. I watched that video. Thank you for posting. I just need to get this audio player to start shuffling the videos, the audio like it's supposed to. All right, let's begin. So, we'll review a little bit. We talked about diaphragmatic breathing. We talked about that muscle at the base of the lungs. How it works to pull the lungs down and open, because we want to pull the air all the way down. We want to give ourselves the best opportunity and as much time as possible to pull all of that oxygen out and take all of that carbon dioxide back out into the air. So we talked about breathing more slowly and more deeply. Not breathing from our chest, which is more shallow and rapid breathing, but breathing from the abdomen, pulling air much deeper and slower. So we talked about that diaphragmatic breathing. We talked about sitting up straight with our aurora. Spitballs are not a good idea. You might poke someone's eye out. We talked about this diaphragmatic breathing practice, where you sit up straight, with your shoulders back but relaxed, with your feet flat on the floor. When we put one hand on your chest and the other hand on your abdomen, just below the breastbone. You do this so that you can feel how it feels to breathe from the diaphragm, how your stomach, your abdomen will pull out and retract back in when you breathe out. When you get a nice full breath, it's easier to exhale, and when you exhale fully, it's easier to inhale. So for this practice, and we can do this right now, you can follow along. It is a 4-2-6 practice, it's called, where you'll sit up, nice and straight, feet flat, shoulder back, one hand on your chest, one hand up your abdomen, and you would inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, a count of 4. You would then hold it gently at the top of the breath for 2 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth, through pursed lips, for 6 seconds. We have a little bit of a graphic here, but I'm going to time it along. I'm going to give you a moment to get ready if you want to follow along with us, and I'm going to do this breathing practice. Just get yourself a moment. Sit up nice and straight in your chair. I think this will be a good way to start off our lesson with this review. Put one hand over your chest, the other hand over your abdomen below that. And I will try not to be distracted by the spitballs. And I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, in. And on in, you'll breathe in through your nose, nice and evenly for 4 seconds. You'll hold for 2 and then out for 6. So, 3, 2, 1, in, 2, 3, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that was pretty good. We're going to try and do a couple in a row. We're going to time that with the visual. Let's wait a moment for it to come back around. 3, 2, 1, in, hold, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, hold, out, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, hold, all the way out. That was just 3 cycles. 1 cycle is 12 seconds. So if you can do 5 cycles, that's 1 minute. If you can do 10, that's 2 minutes. I'd like you to try and do that tomorrow. When you wake up in the morning, take your first 10 breaths like this. Taking only 10 breaths in 2 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of breaths, but that's a much more normal, relaxed, full type of breathing. So let's try that tomorrow when we wake up, all of us. And we'll come back next time and talk about how it made us feel. Just 10 breaths in the morning can help you feel better. But now it's time to talk about stretching and movement. That is our lesson for today. Why should we stretch in the morning? Why should we get some movement in the morning? Does anybody have any good ideas? Helps blood flow. Very good, Pirate. That's true. That's particularly important because for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, you've been still. You've been lying still in your bed. Your tissues need that time to wake up and get the blood flowing. Take a look at this interesting little graphic here. This is what your tissues more or less look like. First, when they're contracted like this, You see the fibers sliding across. You can imagine how knotted up and tense they feel when they're all pulled together. And then see them when they're wide open as they pull here. Think about how much more blood flow is going through them and all the waste products that are flowing out. Everything that you've built up throughout the night. Much like with the breathing practice, a little bit of stretching in the morning can help reduce your stress, can reduce your low back pain. It'll help you wake up a little bit quicker and more completely, and it will help with your posture. Oh, eggs, you realize that you're getting old? Not so much, no. You're fine. In fact, you will feel a lot younger and stay a lot younger if you get a little daily movement, get a little daily breathing practice. And also suntan lotion, drinking water, and not smoking. Trust me, those 3 things will keep you looking and feeling a lot younger. But we'll talk about those topics some other time. Again, much like the breathing practice, not doing so can be an increase in your heart rate, can increase your blood pressure, can make it more difficult for you to fall asleep in terms of physiological effects, and an increased susceptibility to anxiety, less stress tolerance in terms of psychological effects. So we want to do both. We want to breathe deeply and more slowly, and we want to start our day off with a little bit of movement. So I'm going to show a little bit of a video that will demonstrate these things. If I can find the video here. Here we are. No eggs, you do not drink the suntan lotion, you do not smoke the water, and you definitely don't stop breathing. Please do not stop breathing. So here's a little video that will play to demonstrate some movement practices that you can do in the morning. Simple, short, few minutes in the morning. Trust me, it will help make you feel a lot better throughout your day. No, bitch shepherd. Do school. Brush your teeth. Get 8 hours of sleep, not drugs. Oh, what am I going to do with you all? All right, let's watch this video. You see this right here. Again, just a few minutes. Most of these will be dynamic stretches, or at least the first half of them. These are stretches that are in motion, which are particularly good for when you wake up. If you try these, make sure that you don't feel any discomfort. If you do, slow down or don't reach as much. If you have an injury, talk to your doctor before you start a stretching or movement routine. I'm very brief in this video, but it will be available after the stream, both on Twitch and on the YouTube channel, as will the breathing practice and our sleep health section from the first Self-Care December day. Yes, indeed, that is me, Pirate, my Superman costume. We start with some gentle but firm arm circles across the front of your body, reaching all the way up and down across your arms. You want to get them crossed and pull the shoulders all the way around. Then come around the other way, doing about 5 each way. Then you do them to the front. Reach up and then all the way back as far as you can. Getting your upper body nice and loose and limber. Yes, indeed, we're ferret bombed here. Then come across, reaching from behind you all the way to the front, giving yourself a nice hug. Really pull your arms across and grab your shoulders. And then do some body twists, light twists, not pulling yourself too far across. 5 times each way. Again, these are in motion. They're not static stretches. Then roll your neck around, nice and gentle. 5 times across one way, and 5 times across the other side. Your little ferrets in the background, yes, yes. And some side bends with your arms over your head. Again, gently, lightly. This is first thing in the morning. Five each way, feeling the pull in the opposite side of your rib cage. Then roll your wrists around a little bit each way. Let me pause right here for that comment, Pirate. That is not the chair that I currently use. You don't have to worry about that. That's my old chair. That is in the little guest room that we are in right now that you see, where the ferrets sometimes get to play in. I just have that in there as a spare guest chair. I have a much larger chair for someone built more like myself, as you noticed. So don't worry about me. Now we're going to get down into the classic child pose. Get yourself set up, sit up straight, and slowly reach down with your arms up over your head. Don't need to do any exaggerated motion. Just hold here for about 30 seconds. And then we'll move into a leg stretch. Oh no, we'll start with Cobra actually. See a good slight curve in the back, not going to an extreme. Just about that 30 seconds. Now we'll move into a leg stretch. Pull one leg in towards your groin and reach out towards the other toe. Remember, this is a leg stretch, not a back stretch. So you shouldn't feel any strain in your back. It should be all in the back of your legs. Yes, indeed, they are very curious about everything happening there. What are you doing? Now we'll do a groin stretch. Some people do this a little bit too aggressively. It's just a light pressure down on your knees. And there they are. There Moki is, climbing up to my shoulder, climbing up towards my head as she loves to do. Now you lie flat on your back and pull one knee up towards your chest. But one note, not completely flat. You want to have a normal, natural arch. And swap legs. Again, not completely flat. You don't want your back to be in an unnatural alignment. Now we cross one leg over the other while sitting up. Bring your arm across. This should be a stretch that feels good. You should feel a good stretch in that side of the leg. Now one of my favorites. Put one leg over the other like you're crossing your legs when you sit down. And bring the lower leg up. You see where I'm motioning there? That's a really good stretch. It should actually feel good. And then swap. And when we're done, it only took about 5 minutes. Just a couple minutes of breathing and a couple minutes of movement. Start your day off a lot better. And what do we finish off with? Of course, you finish off with a little ferret play. That is the recommended way to start the day, Bit Shepherd. Yes, indeed. That is the way I recommend you start your day, at least. So, what did you think? Have any questions, comments, concerns? Anything you weren't clear on or that you wanted to hear more about? Don't want your back to be looking like those ferrets, all bent like a question mark. That's normal for them, not for us. Yes, indeed, Bit Shepherd, your back would love you to do those stretches. Again, it's just 2 minutes of breathing in the morning. Thank you for the gold stars, Bit Shepherd. You'll all get gold stars if you spend the first couple of minutes of your morning breathing for 2 minutes, stretching for a few minutes, and then if you do our sleep practice before you go to bed and you get a much better night of sleep, well, I'm betting that you'll feel a whole lot better through that next day. Trust me, I certainly feel better whenever I remember to do it. I don't always, that's okay. Sometimes we're just busy or forgetful. Sometimes we just got too much going on. Absolutely, Pirate. I am glad to do the demonstrations. Like I said, I'll put the video up onto the Twitch and onto the YouTube VODs. This lesson will be there. Our little infographics will be posted as well. I think it'll be a good idea if you take a moment to review that sleep health one. Put some of those tips down. Get a good night's sleep tonight when we're done. Yes, indeed. And I think if nobody else has any other questions or comments, we can move on to Ace Attorney again. We can get back to the case on Gourd Lake, or the murder on Gourd Lake. It's been a little while since we played it. I just needed to hydrate there, and we will open up the game. All right. Where were we? We were December 26th. Hello, Nomakin. Hello, welcome, welcome. It is good to see you. I hope you've been well. I hope you haven't been eating too much pickle juice, as you've been known to do. Yeah, it is the day after Christmas in this episode. Edgeworth has had to spend the Christmas weekend in jail. RIP. Oh, you're tired, Noma. I'm all right. A little bit tired, but that's okay. I'll get a good night's sleep tonight with our sleep tips and our breathing practice. Yes, yes. We're having a nice little time with our classmates here in our little learning community. Maya. Oh, I have to start right off with the voices. Okay. Hey, Nick, it's you. I'm glad Mr. Edgeworth made it through the day okay. It's a relief. We should probably catch ourselves up in the fact that she is in jail for contempt of court. Hey, why'd you do that anyway? I don't know. I just knew I had to do something. I know I'm not the lawyer my sister was. I'm sorry. Well, you did save the trial. Just behave from now on, okay? Oh, okay. Do-do-do-do-do. Let's see. Let's talk to her about the questioning. Oh my goodness, Bit Shepherd, would I describe the quality of her lawyering as medium because she is a medium. She's a psychic or ghost whisperer, talker person. I would, yes, I would describe her that way. Her lawyering is quite medium. What do you think? How has her lawyering been? No, not yet. Detective Gumshoe was here just now. He said, seeing as this is your first offense, we'll let you go after questioning. Whew. Oh, and he wanted me to get bail money ready. You can pay for me, okay? Yes, Pirate, I believe Maya's kind of short. Why so? Huh? How much? We have a joke here from Almost Pirate. If she busts out of jail, would she be a small, medium, at large? Yes, she would be a small, medium, at large. I think that's maybe the most perfect way that joke has been ever set up. Congratulations. Our official class clown has arrived. Bit Shepherd. Pirate does need lessons to stretch. Very good, very good. We have a bunch of jokesters in class today. Yikes. I don't know. I guess they'll send you a bill or something. Why do I picture giant bales of money every time I hear the word bail? Because that's what they charge you. Any luck with Mia? None. I can't get through to her at all. I tried. I really did. I don't know what to do. I think I probably shouldn't have stopped my training. She sounds like she really did do her best. I should check and see if there are any waterfalls in the local area. I wonder if I'll ever see my sister again. Okay, well, let's move on. Suppose we'll go back to the scene of the crime and investigate. There are fewer than there were yesterday, but the cops are still around in the park. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe is here today. Haven't seen Larry around today at all. Probably off paying through the nose on a date with the lovely Keonce. Okay. Okay, let's go to the woods then. Ah, it's Detective Gumshoe. Hey, pal. The trial today, Yes? What about the trial? Well, I was going to say good show, but it wasn't really that at all, see? Though you did save Mr. Edgeworth, I guess. I just wasn't sure how to thank you, you know? Thanks. Okay, what do you have to say? Detective Gumshoe? Any idea what strategy Von Karma is planning for tomorrow? It sounds like he's bringing in another witness, pal. Another witness? Oh, right. He said something about that in the trial today. There were 2 witnesses. Oh, the no camping sign is sending you? Yeah, it's just a guy screaming at a fire. I was wondering who that other witness was. Who was it? Sorry, pal. As much as I'd like to, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. You're the defense lawyer does have the right to know who the witnesses are. Just so you are aware, class, in the real system. Your defense lawyer does have the right to know who the witnesses are against you. Just thought I should point that out. Oh, right. I wanted to ask you something about Edgeworth. What's up? Is he afraid of earthquakes? I never heard anything about that before. Mr. Edgeworth doesn't talk about himself too much, see? But there's one thing that's clear as day. Him hating crime the way he does. And him becoming a prosecutor, see? And him being scared of earthquakes. It all started with that incident, pal. The DL6 incident? Yep, that's the one. 15 years ago, when he saw his father shot before his very eyes, pal. He still feels the pain now. You can see it in his eyes, see? Okay, let's talk about Maya. I wanted to talk to you about Maya Fey. Huh? She's not out on bail yet, pal? That's strange. I told them to let her go as soon as they had their report written up, pal. Man. I don't know what would have happened today in that courtroom if it weren't for her. Seeing her getting dragged out by the bailiff. I'll be honest with you, pal. I shed a tear or two. Mr. Edgeworth, he was so moved I saw his lip trembling. Really? Cold as ice Edgeworth? He was really grateful for what she did, you know. I'm going to head back to the station. I'll get the report on Maya and get her out of there as soon as I can. Thank you. Thank you, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Oh, wait. I was wondering, how much is the bail going to be? Don't worry about that, pal. Mr. Edgeworth is posting the whole amount. Ah, very nice. Didn't I tell you? He's grateful to her for what she did. All right, pal. Well, don't forget to go pick her up, okay? Maybe I can get Edgeworth to pay this month's rent, too. Well, you are his lawyer. He should be paying you something. Let's go pick her up. Hey, Nick, you finally came. They just finished the paperwork. I'm free to go. Free at last, huh? Those interrogators were really mean. They were like, okay, what did you do this time? Like I was some kind of criminal. Can you believe it? Well, they let you out in the end, didn't they? And in this system, you're quite lucky to be even out. Oh, that reminds me. Thanks for bail. Thank Edgeworth, actually. Huh? He posted bail for you. Said he was grateful for what you did. Mr. Edgeworth did that? I have to make it up to him. Well, you did get yourself arrested for him already, so I think you've already made it up to him. That's fine. We've got to win this case, Nick. Well, we should go back to the park now that the cop isn't there. There aren't many cops around here today, are there? They're probably back at the precinct, working up the case against Edgeworth and having some donuts. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Lotta. Oh, it's her again. Oh, Pirate, you say that Edgeworth is cool, cute, and he's got money for bail? What's not to love? The fact that he puts innocent people in jail? The fact that he is corrupt? The fact that he tampers with witnesses? Fabricates evidence? We should have left him in that jail. But then the real killer would still be out there. It would be a tragic miscarriage of justice. Y'all really did it today. What did we do now? No, I'm not complaining. See, I did a little thinking. A little self-reflection, you might say. Oh, bitch shepherd. Tsundere? Tsundere? I don't think we're tsundere for him. No, I'm not at least. No tsundere. I realized that being a witness is a mighty big responsibility. But I just went right up there and started blabbing any old thing that came to mind. Lotta. So you see, I want to make it up to y'all. Make it up? You already made up your whole testimony in court. Let's talk about the trial. Let's talk about the crimes that you have committed against justice. What did you think of that trial, Lotta, that kangaroo court? To be honest, I was doing it half just to say I'd been a witness. Even though I didn't really see anything. I kind of convinced myself I had, though. I'm sorry, I know I caused y'all a lot of trouble. You almost sent an innocent man to prison for the rest of his life. What are you talking about? Well, memory is a tricky, vague little thing. Oh, Pirate, you say that no southerner wears that much winter gear in December? I suppose we don't know how cold it is in whatever fictional place this is, but, I mean, Maya's out here in, like, nun robes, or whatever the cultural equivalent is. So perhaps you're right. Yeah, I sure know that now. I'll be fine the next time I witness a murder. Cyrus, it's supposed to be Tokile. What's the, didn't they do that in Big Hero 6, where they just combined the names Tokyo and San Francisco? It's like Sanford Tokyo or something like that. San Francisco. Oh, this isn't combined. This is just a Tokyo-fied Los Angeles. The dub is LA. Well, I'm doing the dub here. I'm doing these wonderful voiceover dubbings. Right. You mean the first time you witness a murder? Good point, Phoenix. You didn't witness a murder in the first place. Let's talk about that sea monster that you claim to have seen. What about Gordy? Right. Well, the way I figure, the trial's only stoking the flames of Gordy fever. I'll get my exclusive photos and rocket to stardom. All right, Lotta, you go, girl. I can't believe I just had to say that. I didn't stop myself in time. Let me just scooch on right by you there, oh. Let me just scooch right by you there, oh. Say ya to the UPA. Canada South, basically where we're at here. We stand a clueless witness. Don't you mean witless? Ha ha ha. I'm really good at this. Well, that wasn't a Canadian accent, Cyrus. I was doing a Yooper accent. Very close, though. Upper Michigan. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is, it's actually more north. It's actually more northward than a large population of Canada. It's more of a Fargo type accent. Poor imitation. Class, let me ask, do you say creek or do you say crick? Creek or crick? Down at the crick. You know, fishing for some shrimp at the crick. At the crick? We have some creeks and some cricks. E. Yeah, I say creek. Oh, but pirate is in the Appalachias. Well, Canadians say creek. Say creek there, yeah, eh? I'm gonna go get some Tim Hortons there, eh? Hey, that there Bret Hart is the greatest wrestler of all time there, eh? I'm gonna go get some poutine at the Tim Hortons. I'm sorry. Get some poutine at the Tim Hortons there, eh? Oh, that's right, Eggs. You are an English second language speaker. You speak twice as many languages as I do. You could just pick the funniest English dialect and accent that you wanted. Three times as many. That's right. That's right. I mean, I do speak a moderate amount of Spanish, so I suppose it's 1.5 times as many. You can indeed do it. I've heard you speak at least 2 languages. Cyrus speaks Canadian and English. So I'm trying to do both this rages against the satiring of the polite. But we have a thing in the United States called Minnesota Nice, where it's sort of it's a mix of Canada and that down-home southern, you know, not very sincere niceness where they're like, oh, bless your heart. Oh, bless your heart. That kind of thing. Have you ever heard about the Midwest goodbye? That's another sign that you're definitely from the Midwest. It's where you don't actually ever say goodbye. You just sort of slap knees. Yep, there you go, Cyrus. Say, well, guess about time I be going. And you gotta like groan when you do it, like it's a strain to get up. Well, because you don't want to be impolite and be like, yeah, I'm out of here. I've taken that to the extreme. It just sort of, you linger around the doorway. You groan as you get up off the Chesterfield. Do you know that there's an extra food group in the Midwest? You know what the additional food group is? Close, Cyrus, it is close. That's more of Wisconsin specific. Although Wisconsin does have most of the cheese championships. It's not beer, but that's another close one. It's the casserole. The casserole is the food group that's added when you're in the Midwest. You make a giant pan of casserole, hot dish. There you go, hot dish, Spit Shepherd. Take it to the potluck. A beer cheese casserole pirate. Yes, indeed. Very good. Deviled eggs and casserole. There you go. Now, of course, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I have to ask, do you say pop, soda, or cola? Sody Pop is your favorite? Let's see here. Let me bring it up. Everyone else is dead by your pop throwing hands. Pop is the most popular as you go north. Pretty much throughout the entirety of the north of the US. And as you head into Canada, it's pop. There's some small pockets in Wisconsin where it's soda. Mostly the eastern side. But soda is mostly in the Southwest and California. It's Coke almost all throughout the South. And this is indeed how languages evolve. How slang gets added into different areas, regional dialect, how y'all became more or less an accepted contraction. But let me ask another question. If I can type here. Do you call it a water fountain or a bubbler? Well, Nomaken, we used to have a plural you. In fact, you used to be the plural you, if I'm not mistaken. I'll actually have to ask Miss Piper. They're an English teacher. Thou used to be the singular you. Yeah, so it's almost all water fountain. The US is like divided right in half across here. Water fountain, drinking fountain. Two little pockets in New England and Wisconsin, for some reason, call it a bubbler. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. Bit Shepherd, one of your stranger friends calls the television remote a clicker. There are people who still call it clicker. Cyrus, you say there's federal law that demands radio and television and the like broadcast a minimum 10% Canadian content. Well, that's how we get those great Canadian shows down here. Good point, Nomaken. They are at the same latitude. I don't know how otherwise that happened. Wisconsin is a lot of German immigrants. There's a lot of Scandinavian. There's also some Cornish, some Welsh. I don't know. The only other migration really that I know of is the Oneida tribe migrated in part from New York to Wisconsin. Oh, the Dutch, you say. The Dutch. It's the Dutch. Well, a lot of society's problems can be traced to the Dutch, so I'm not too surprised. They know what they did. There's only two things you can't tolerate, Pirate? Only two of them? We do need to make fun of them sometimes. We have to pull them down from their high horse. Pirate says people intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. Thank you for the contribution to our Self-Care December Gold Challenge, Nomaken. 4,000 gold stars. Where were we actually? How did we even get off on this tangent? Anyway, I'm not going to say that line again. I wish I could have been an investigative photographer too. Yeah, finish your spirit medium training first. Stop trying to be a lawyer. Indeed, they are content gold, Bitch Shepherd. I'm really good at this, you know. I'm a really good streamer. I'll give myself that. Yep. Thank you, Bitch Shepherd. Thank you for the gold stars. And someday, when we are the #1 stream on Twitch and all of you are my experienced students, you'll remember these days. You'll remember these wonderful nights when we talked about bubblers and soda, and whether you call it cola, if you got your poutine at Tim Hortons. Okay. Lotta, what do you mean by making it up to us? Well, you see, actually, I got a bit of information for you. What? That Von Karma didn't want me to say nothing about it. What information? Now we're getting to the heart of it. See, I reckon we might be able to do ourselves a little exchange. Exchange? I thought this was to make it up to us. Right. I propose a little exchange to make it up to you. Okay. Can we just say that she's Dutch so we can make fun of her for that? She's a Dutch Southerner? Information don't come cheap, my friend. I'm not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, pal. I'm not your pal, buddy. Hey, I see you thinking, my, how unsophisticated these Southern folks are. Yeah, the south of the Netherlands is real bad. It's written all over your face. Let me tell you, most Southerners are way more sophisticated than you. I'm just the exception, okay? Well, what'll it be? We gonna deal or not? Well, what do we do, Nick? I mean, we have to have the deal. We need the info. I don't know what she wants from us, but... Okay, how much? Huh? You completely off your rocker? I may not be sophisticated, but I'm not trying to rob the poor. We're not poor. Huh? The only fair exchange for information is information. Listen good. What I need from you is information about Gordy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gordy? But Gordy doesn't... I mean, Gordy might not exist. Then bring me proof that shows he don't. I'll be keeping watch from the car, okay? You see something, y'all come to me first, got it? Okay. Yeah, she must be from Osaka if that's in the original Bitch Shepherd. I think that's the only place that... Well, I'm totally talking without knowing what I'm talking about. There's probably lots of different dialects and accents in Japan, but Osaka is the one that I know of for sure. Okinawa too probably has a sort of a regional dialect. Right, see y'all later. Okay, Nick, let's get hunting. Hunting? You don't seriously mean... Gordy, I sure do. What about Edgeworth? We're searching for Gordy to help him, Nick. Don't you get it? Okay, gotta search for this make-believe monster. All right, eggs, go ahead and bow out. Catch your 8 hours of sleep. Remember to use our sleep tips that we talked about. Do that breathing exercise before you go to sleep. Trust me, it should help you. Good night. See you later. Oh my. What's that?
The Steel Samurai, Nick.
Yeah, I recognize the Steel Samurai, and there's the flags from different countries for some reason. Australia, the United Kingdom, China, South Korea. Can't see the ones behind her head, but the United States, Germany, Japan, Brazil. India, there's India there. Yo, Maya! Larry, what the heck is that? Oh, it was my girl Keonce's idea. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was, Larry Butts. She speaks in the Kansai dialect. Well, hold on. Let me look that up. Kansai. Thank you for looking that up, Bitch Shepherd. Kansai is a cultural center and historical heart of Japan. Huh. It is the spiritual and cultural capital. Oh, Osaka is a part of Kansai. Osaka is a city in the Kansai region. Okay. That makes perfect sense. She was all, if you like, put this here. It would be like totally cool. Dude, she gave it to me along with this banner. Wow, that's real impressive. She could find those for you. Nomaken, you have 2 different kinds of intoxicants here in Minecraft. I see. That's good at least. Be safe. Be good. Well, she knows a lot of people. And that show's finished now, so she got him for free. What? Yeah, that show is finished. The main villain was murdered, as we recall. Right. Okay, let's talk to him about Edgy boy. What happened with Edgy? Well, we made it through the first day in court, all right. I don't know how good our prospects are from here on, though. Huh. Hey, Larry, did you know Mr. Edgeworth's secret weakness? What? He's terrified of earthquakes. I mean, who isn't scared of earthquakes? He acts like a little boy. I would be terrified if I was in an earthquake. That's weird. I don't think he was ever like that in school. You've lived through hurricanes, pirate, so you wondering how scary earthquakes can be? Well, perhaps. No? Really? Well, we were only in the same class for a little bit. He transferred schools pretty quickly. Oh yes, as we've discovered, his father was murdered. Shot right before his eyes. Transferred? Right, when the DL6 incident happened. Doesn't look like Larry knows about it, though. Let's talk about that big old samurai. Hey, Larry. When did you get that big thing? Huh. Oh, the big guy? I've had that for about a month, yeah. It's a big hit with the kids. Why wasn't it here yesterday? Oh, right. The compressor was busted. Compressor? Yeah, it's that little unit by my hot dog stand. That's what I used to put air in the Steel Samurai. It broke a little while ago, so I sent it in for repairs. Oh, And here I thought you'd inflated it by yourself. What? Huh. Hey, y'all. Well, y'all find anything out about Gordy? No, nothing. Well, keep moving. It gets cold out here at nighttime. He's full of hot air, Cyrus. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I think I have to sneeze. Whoa, no you don't. No sneezing. Oh, right, the camera. No sneezing. Great job, Maya. Now you've ruined a whole bunch of film. Yeah, well, sorry's nice, but what about my film? Nick, pay the lady. No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. It's always so quiet here. I wonder if the boat shop is closed for good. Well, with the murder on the lake and all, they're probably just taking a vacation till it all blows over. I get it. Okay, so there's nothing here. That's fine. We'll go somewhere else for clues. We've talked to Larry Butts already. Suppose we can go back there, since Dick Gumshoe said he was going to do some stuff. Hey there, pal. What's up? You look out of sorts. Wait, you didn't go and do something that's going to hurt Mr. Edgeworth's case again? What do you mean, again? Whatever, have a seat, pal. I'm here for you if you need anything. Besides money, that is. How's the investigation proceeding, Mr. Dick Gumshoe? It's not really. We have another meeting coming up. We're supposed to talk about Mr. Edgeworth's motive. His motive? Oh yeah, they don't really care about motives so much in this this judicial system. See, Mr. Edgeworth's father died in the DL6 incident. And the guy who got the lone suspect declared incident was the victim in this case, pal. Robert Hammond. Not to be confused with John Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I gotta admit, it doesn't look good, pal. Death finds a way, Bit Shepherd. Yes, indeed. You thought John Hammond was that British car show. Hello, Empress Hold TV. Hello. Welcome, welcome. It is good to see you. How have you been? We're in the midst of playing Ace Attorney. My first time playing this game. We had our little lesson in stretching to go along with our review of breathing practice. And now we're playing some games. Yes, indeed, we have even more royalty. There is an Empress Hold TV now. There's a Mousy Prince. And there's an Aurora the Princess. I'm pretty sure that an Empress outranks both of those, though. Aurora might not be very pleased about that. The monster down in Gourd Lake? Not personally, no, pal. Well, we're looking for it. Huh? Are you out of your minds? Eek! You got time to go wild monster hunting? How about doing a little questioning for me then? Oh! Detective Gumshoe is scaring me, Nick. I told Detective Gumshoe about the deal with Lotta. Nick, try telling him sooner next time. I could barely get a word in edgewise. Edgeworth-wise.
I see, pal. Sorry for shouting at you. Okay. Detective Gumshoe will help you in your search for Gordy, pal. Huh? I'll loan you one of our newest secret weapons for finding evidence, pal. Really? You can take whichever one you like, pal. Okay, give us the goods. Hold on now, everything in due time. First, let me show them to you, pal. These are our best and brightest. Introducing secret weapon number 1. Missile.
Excuse me? He's just going to give me a missile? I thought it was going to be something, you know, for like, I don't know, like a deep sea radar or something that we could search for the monster in with. He's going to give me a missile? Am I going to shoot this cryptid with a missile? Is he giving me magic missile? Am I learning a cantrip now? He has given me the nuclear launch codes. You will take the launch codes. Fire the missile.
Missile?
He's a canine police dog, still in training, see? Okay. Okay. That makes much more sense. Why didn't you say that in the first place? Missile. Whew.
Missile. Here, boy.
Oh my god, it's a doja. It's a doggy. It's a dog. That's a dog. That's a pupper. Doggo. That's a heckin' woofer. The most angry dog there is, pirate. But he looks so happy. He looks so... Look at his little smile. But also his cold, dead eyes. His coal black, dead doll's eyes. Terrifying.
Here he is, pal. Hey, he's cute. Look, Nick, cute dog.
That's everyone's reaction when you see a cute dog. A cute dog. Very cop, much fur. So missile bit shepherd. Yes, yes. And this will help us how?
Woof! Next, secret weapon number 2, pal. A fishing pole.
You have department-issued fishing poles? What kind of Mickey Mouse outfit is this? Oh, it's his own personal pole. Okay. Detective Gumshoe, we're looking for a monster.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to catch a whole sea monster with a fishing pole? Well, maybe we just put some bait out, I guess.
Never know until you try, pal. Okay, this next one is the last one, pal.
Oh, almost pirate Jeremy Wade could do it. Is that the guy from River Monsters? Is that the host of that strange River Monsters show on, what is it, Discovery or History Channel? One of those two? Ah, yes, I did hear he caught all the famous river monsters, so there's no more show. They can't drag it out like on those gold digging shows. Not gold digging like, you know what I mean. Secret weapon number 3.
A metal detector, pal. Here.
Detective Gumshoe, we're looking for something alive.
Right.
How are we supposed to find it with a metal detector? Thank you for the clip, Bit Shepherd.
Hey, you never know. It might have been eating soda cans. Pal.
Well, which will it be? I mean, I want to take the dog, obviously. Which of these would actually be useful? What do you think? Which would be actually useful? I mean, the dog maybe. The dog perhaps would be useful. You know, but the moment it barks, it's going to set off the camera. Yep. It's going to set off the camera if it beeps, if it barks. A stick? A stick to beat the sea monster with? That's very possible. Well, a fishing pole and a metal detector are both somewhat stick-like, so we could take one of those. I don't think the dog is going to help us find a sea monster. And I don't think a fishing pole is either, because it's a large sea monster.
I can't make up my mind, Nick. They all seem so perfect.
I can't make up my mind either, for the totally opposite reason. Oh well, I suppose it can't hurt to borrow one of them. Maybe we'll find something cool on the beach. A metal stick tour.
Remember, you're hunting for a monster. Anything is possible. Anything, pal.
A metal detectot. Let's go take this to the beach and see what happens. A metal detector. I can't use it here. I want to use it. Oh, that's a horrible noise. Sorry, class. I didn't know that it was going to go off the moment we entered the boat rental shop. High-pitched noises can damage your hearing. If you experience ringing in your ears, you may have tinnitus and should talk to your doctor.
Nick, it's beeping. The metal detector's found something.
We just had it on and we're walking around with it the whole time? Whatever it is, it must be in those bushes. Go check it out, Maya. Yeah, you go. You go, Maya. Go do something useful.
Why do I have to check it out? Nick, look.
Huh. An air tank? The valve looks broken.
I thought it was Gordy.
You thought Gordy had set off the metal detector in the bushes behind the boat rental shop? Maya? Is that what you thought? You thought that the giant sea monster set off the metal detector in the bushes behind the boat shop? Her detective skills are medium, Bit Shepherd. Good, good. Yes, that's true. Why would Gordy be in the bushes? Great question. And second of all, why would a metal detector react to a sea monster? Huh? There's something wrapped around this air tank. It looks like a string of flags.
Well, we might as well take it with us now that we found it.
I mean, it's got the flags from the hot dog stand. And Larry Butts. Air tank of dubious value retrieved. Hey, Larry, just tell me about this thing. What? An air tank?
What about it?
Larry, I wanted to ask you about this tank. Is it yours? Say, is this air tank yours?
Why would I have a thing like that?
Eye twitching. Look, see how there's a string of flags around the tank valve? It's just like the string of flags around your steel samurai there. Why does he have the blush marks?
Must be a coincidence. There's strings of flags everywhere these days. Like elementary schools.
I don't know if you should be allowed around elementary schools, Larry.
And used car dealerships. Look, why would I need a tank anyway?
To inflate something. You used this to inflate that, didn't you?
Inflate what?
To inflate something big and round. That big puffy steel samurai.
Now why would you go asking me a question like that?
Looks like I hit the nail on the head.
Right. Actually, see, the compressor I always used was on the fritz. So I tried using the tank to inflate it just once. And it didn't go so well.
As I suspected. It didn't go so well?
Yeah.
Do you think you could be a little more specific?
Come on. Look, it's embarrassing, so I really don't want to talk about it.
Tell us.
Fine. Whatever. It's, like I said, the compressor was busted. So I took the tank and tried to fill the samurai up with it. And then... blam! The valve busted open and made this incredible noise. And that tank there took off like a rocket. And it took my poor deflated steel samurai with it. What? Off into Gourd Lake?
And that's the monster, isn't it, class?
It sure scared me out of my gourd, that's for sure.
Okay. So, that's the monster, isn't it?
I learned something in today's trial, that's for sure. Testifying is serious business. Testify! That's why I decided not to talk about that case anymore. Huh?
Whoa, didn't you say you had information about the case? Tell us that at least.
Like I said, I'll trade it for the dirt on Gordy.
Okay, well, let's talk about Gordy.
What are you going to do if Gordy doesn't exist? I'll quit being an investigative photographer.
And be a professional liar on the stand?
What? After all, I only have one photo to my name so far. Was it a good one?
No, it's a photo of a murder.
You bet. A UFO.
Oh, a UFO. She has crush her dreams, Bit Shepherd. Crush them. See them driven before you.
A UFO? Anyway, if I can't get a career-making photo this time around, then that's it. I'll quit and go back to school.
What were you in school for at first?
Huh? So you really are a university student? Yeah, well, I'm taking a break for a bit.
Oh, she's doing a gap year. Or something. Maybe she's not even from this area. Maybe she's studying abroad.
Right.
Oh, we did this. Do we need to present her with the air tank? Yes, we have seen this before. Okay. Let's present her with what is actually the... Who doesn't dream of taking a gap year and hunting cryptids, Bitch Shepherd? I mean, that would be fun. I would do that. What's your favorite cryptid, everybody? What's your favorite cryptid, Bitch Shepherd? Is it the Hodag? La Chupacabra? The Yeti? Bigfoot? The Loch Ness Monster? The Haggis? The Sasquatch, because he's blurry and out of focus.
Yep, I'd have to say I know exactly squat about that.
Kelpies. Good one. Good one. A little lesser known one. Do I need to... Oh, I probably need to talk to Larry more about this. Ah, Bitch Shepherd, the Mothman, you say? Pirate, the Jersey Devil. Played a certain PS1 game. Empress, I do think the werewolf counts as a cryptid. I think it started off as a cryptid and then sort of evolved with fiction books. Tell me about this flying air tank there, Larry Butts.
So the tank and the steel samurai you were trying to fill up flew away. What happened next?
Well, all that happened on the 20th or so. The 20th? A week ago.
Now, as far as I could see, the tank went flying out onto the lake. So I went out every night in a boat looking for it. I mean, Kianse gave me that steel samurai after all. And when did you find it? Just the night before last.
So Christmas Eve.
It flew way out there. Took me 4 whole days to find it.
Ah, Bitch Shepherd, you say you have a local cryptid there, imported from France, the Nain Rouge. The Nain Rouge. Well, let's look up what that is. The Nain Rouge. Oh, that's a horrifying one. A red dwarf, also called the Demon of the Strait. It's a legendary creature of the Detroit, Michigan area. According to various narratives surrounding the figure, Detroit's founder, Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, was told by a fortune teller to appease the Nain Rouge, but upon encountering the creature, he smacked it with his cane and shouted, "Get out of my way, you red imp!" As a consequence, a string of bad luck befell Cadillac. He was charged with abuse of power and reassigned to Louisiana, later returning to France, where he was briefly imprisoned and eventually lost his fortune. That sucks for him. Who is this Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac? Was he the founder of the Cadillac car company? Anyway, the night before last was the night of the murder.
Sorry for not telling you, Nick. Actually, I was here on the night of the murder.
Oh, really, Nick? Or really, Larry? Larry Butts? You were at the scene of the crime on the murder night?
But you see, I went home before midnight.
So you didn't know about what happened?
No.
That's too bad. It's not all bad. We've solved one mystery at least.
A mystery?
Yes, yes, pirate. He has Larry butted in again. Slide over.
Well, Mr. Lawyer,
I've got the info y'all need.
Y'all get the scoop on Gordy for me yet?
Gordy doesn't exist. Lotta, there is no such thing as Gordy. And there is no such thing as Santa Claus. Yep, that's his name. That's his name, Empress Hold. That is what they decided to name this character. Time to crush her dreams.
What? How can y'all be so sure? Really, Nick? Y'all got some proof Gordy doesn't exist?
The proof that Gordy doesn't exist is here. Of course I have proof. I better have proof. No lawyer worth his badge would make a claim without the proof to back it up, unless you were totally bluffing, I guess. Here's the proof that Gordy doesn't exist. Take that. Crush your dreams.
Larry's air tank? What are y'all doing with an air tank?
This is Gordy.
Excuse me? What exactly are you saying, Nick?
There's a stand near here. A hot dog stand. There's a giant inflatable samurai doll there. About a week ago, an idiot, who happens to be a friend of mine, tried to fill it. He used this air tank, and when the valve blew, the tank flew into the lake. Apparently, it made a pretty loud bang when it flew.
Bang?
The tank, along with the still deflated samurai, fell into the lake. At the same time, a couple was taking a photograph of the lake. This photo.
Wait, so you're saying that Gordy...
I'm not saying that. I already said that, Maya. I just in fact said that Gordy doesn't exist. I said it right in front of you.
Is really the Steel Samurai? Maya, he, Maya, ha.
Aw, she looks so sad and deflated, like a Steel Samurai. Go back to school, Lotta. Go back to school, Lotta Hart. Get a real job. The spoken word isn't her medium, Bitch Shepherd. Another good one. That's a whole lot of disappointment. Another good one. We have a bunch of class clowns. We have a bunch of comedians here in class.
Well, that's a fine way to ruin a gal's dreams.
Well, if your dreams were riding on finding the knockoff Loch Ness Monster, I'm sorry to say you should dream bigger. I'm sorry, Lotta.
I'm not really sorry. Nah, it's okay. You win. I'll give you your info like I promised. Poor Lotta.
So tell us this information you have.
A promise is a promise, I guess. I overheard the cops around here saying something about the witness tomorrow. They said he's the caretaker of the boat rental place up the path here.
Aha!
Boat rental?
Yeah, the place we've been a bunch of times.
There's someone there? I mean, it looks deserted. Just an old guy living all by himself. Y'all should go check it out. Thanks, Lotta.
Thanks a lotta. Thanks a lotta.
Let's get cracking, Nick. Hold on.
Something else?
Yeah, the night of the murder, my camera clicked twice, you know.
Oh. The plane. Wait, so you have another photo?
Well, yeah, but there's nothing on it at all. Just the lake. I figured it wouldn't be much use as evidence, so I kept it to myself. Well, it might not be helpful at all, but here, take it.
Second lake photo added to the court record.
Bye now. Y'all take care now, you hear? Time for me to pack up and leave.
Yes, Lotta. Go back to school. Get a degree. Become a teacher.
Poor Lotta.
It's all Larry's fault. The legend still lives on, I guess.
The legend?
Yeah, the legend of Larry, familiar to all who know him for any length of time. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Ah, got him. Got his butts, you might say. The legend of the Steel Gordy. The legend of the hurdy-gurdy.
Someone should whip that butts into shape. Oh my god. Oh my god. It hurts. Hey, Nick.
She frickin' boomed ya. Yeah, I should have did the old
Someone should whip that butts into shape. This is the boat shop Lotta was talking about.
You're right. It is. We've been here a bunch of times. Doesn't seem to be anyone around at all.
Well, let's go check it out anyway.
Okay, let's go on in. Okay, he has an enormous bird. Meg, is that you?
Eek!
Hey, is that Keith with you? He was up for a little breaking and entering. This old guy wobbling around. Where have you two been? I've been worried sick.
Nick, you handle this.
I'll leave this one up to you, Maya. Meg.
Yes?
Finally made up your mind, have you?
My mind?
You'll run the pasta shop when I'm gone.
Pasta?
Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. You make your old man proud. When you kids left the house, I didn't know what to think. How am I supposed to keep this place running, an old man like me? Polly, the kids are home.
Hello, hello, squawk. Nick, what was that?
That's a bird. That's a bird, Maya. It's a parrot. You might have heard of one. Is Cyrus here? Can Cyrus help me out with this? Can Cyrus do a little ornithology for me? Can we get the vulture in here? A parrot. The one on that perch. Keith. Yes? I leave the wet noodle in your capable hands, Sonny. Well, we have good noodles and we have bad noodles in this classroom. I don't know about any wet noodles, though. Oh, that man is on meds. He's got something going on. Yep. Based on the available evidence, I'd say it's the name of his pasta shop. That's a relief, isn't it, Polly?
Hello, hello, squawk.
Yep. Zzz, and then he just passes right back out. He fell asleep. He fell asleep standing up. I guess he's relieved. Tell me about this pasta restaurant. Pasta Ristorante. This man is your hero, Bit Shepherd? A pasta shop? Yep. To think, the wet noodle will live on when I'm gone. My father started it, you know, so that makes you two the third generation. Meg.
Yes?
She just instantly starts responding to Meg. Tomorrow we'll start with the secrets of dough tossing.
Dough tossing?
You too, Keith. Yes? You'll be the best pasta wrangler the West has ever seen. Wrangling that pasta.
Pasta wrangler? The West? Isn't pasta from Italy?
Meg.
Yes?
You know the best pasta's always been made west of the Rockies, don't you? What the heck? Right, of course. Everybody knows that.
Nick?
Huh.
How long do we have to keep up all this in the family charade?
This old man must know something about the murder. We're not leaving until we find out what it is. Zzz. This is a boat rental shop, right? What are you talking about? This here's the Palace of Pasta, the wet noodle. Though, now that you mention it, we haven't gotten many orders for spaghetti lately. All the kids come up and say, "Yo, dude, we want to ride in one of your boats." That's why I keep them boats out there. That makes sense, at least. Youngsters these days. Darned if I understand them. I mean, I guess. I'm pretty confused myself.
Nick, this isn't going anywhere.
But this old man is the witness tomorrow, isn't he? We've got to find some way of getting information out of him. I'll have to do something here. Hold on, let me examine this bird.
Wow, what an amazing parrot that is. Good morning. Hello? It ignored me.
Pull a gun on him? I do have a gun in my inventory for some reason. What, you forget Meg? You gotta call her name first.
Her name?
Polly, how you been?
Hello, hello, squawk.
See?
Neat. So the parrot's name is Polly.
That's typically what they name parrots. The erstwhile companion of the boat shop caretaker answers to the name Polly. Class, do you know what the word erstwhile means? It means former, or like prior. So I don't know why they're saying erstwhile. Just look it up here. The full definition is former, old one time, sometime in the past, earlier than the present time, no longer current. Like the, if your manager gets fired, they're your erstwhile boss. But this guy does seem to still have this parrot as a companion, so doesn't seem to be in the past. Interesting.
Too bad all she can say is hello.
Har har har. Old Polly can say lots of things. You just need to know the secret words.
The secret words? Look, Nick, he has an electric blanket on his table. Looks warm. That's a great idea. We should do that at the office. We can sit down with our clients, snug and warm, and drink hot cocoa.
Maya, all of our clients are usually in jail for murder. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Empress. Thank you for the gold stars. Lovely. And what? Talk about murders? Exactly.
Oh, you're a party pooper, Nick.
There's no party. There's only murder. There's literally only murder. Thank you for that hydration redeem. I will go and do exactly that. I need to refill my water. I recommend everyone get a glass of water if you don't have one ready. One sec.
Ah, there we are.
Wow, there's lots of various fish in Gourd Lake, aren't there?
Something's funny, Nick. All these fish are saltwater fish.
What? Looks like a kitchen unit. It's pretty clean. Well, not really, but okay. Funny, he doesn't look like the type who'd keep things tidy like that. Oh, you have a kotatsu. Bit Shepherd, you say. Nomaken, the kotatsu is that table you see there. It's like a table where you're sitting on the floor, and the blanket kind of comes over your legs. It's this table here. Or you can get special seats that are like floor seats. It's an interesting thing. I have one, but not in real life. In my Animal Crossing house. Haha. Yes, you can keep your legs warm and play footsie.
Wow, he has a television in here too.
I mean, yeah. Okay, well that's that. What next? What next? Ah, Bit Shepherd, you say there's a heater on the other side, on the underside, and you can bake your lower half. That a lawyer's badge? Yes, it is. This old guy is the first person to recognize my badge. I get it. Huh? Yep. I got you figured out now. You're not Keith. What gave it away?
Nick, now's our chance to clear things up.
Sir? No, I'm not Keith.
And I'm not Meg either.
We're here investigating a murder that took place on this lake the other night. Founder of the firm Polly and Old Man. Very good, Bit Shepherd. Another great one. Thank you for your great jokes.
Please help us.
A lawyer, huh?
Please, mister.
All right, I'll help. But on one condition.
What's that?
When this case is over and done, you'll run the wet noodle. Sure. Okay, we promise.
Nick, are you sure about this?
Hey, anything to get this case solved. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, Nick. Also, who wouldn't want to eat Phoenix noodles?
I guess so.
That's my boy. Good for you, Keith. Wait, didn't I just say... You too, Meg.
Yes?
You bring a tear to your old man's eye, you know. Now, what was that you wanted to know? Speak up, Polly.
Hello.
Squawk. Now he's talking to the bird again. How do we get him to talk to us? So, class, what I'm going to ask him to do is... See, I'm so good at this. I'm such a good streamer. I'm telling you. We're going to make it big. Thank you for the gold stars, Bitch Shepherd. Hey, yep. I seen this. You know something about this, sir? Keith. Yes? It's okay. You can call me Dad. Dad, you know something about this? Yep. The other night out on the lake. Yes, yes? I know all about that. I seen it. What?
Tell us what you saw.
Well, I suppose, since you're taking over the shop and all. Tell me what you saw. I forget the time, but it was pretty dark outside. Probably night, yep. Ah, Bitch Shepherd, you say, fun fact, being able to see the underside of the eyes is called sanpaku and is a portent of death. See the underside of the eyes. You mean like when your eyes roll back in your head and you can see the pink tissue on the back side of the eye? I was not aware of that. Sanpaku. Sanpaku. Okay, so san, I do know. San, I do know that 3 is an unlucky number. And sanpaku sounds like it's related to death. And that's why san is an unlucky number, because it's similar to the word for death. Ichi-ni-san. Isn't it Ichi-ni-san? Oh, well, san is 3, but 3's not the unlucky number in Japan? Oh, she is death, as in Shinigami. Okay. That's so strange to me. Huh. Oh. Then I heard this bang, so I looked outside. Then I heard another one. Bang. Splash. A little while later, this boat comes back. Then a young man walked by my window here. He was muttering something to himself, yep.
What did he say?
Yep. I forgot. I'll remember tomorrow by court time, I promise. You'd better. Tell me about that bird. Heck, my memory's gotten worse of late. That's why I just tell everything important to old Polly here.
Everything important? I wonder. Polly, what's the number to the safe?
1228, squawk.
Oh, right.
Hey, Polly, watch it, will ya?
Hehehe, see, Nick? All it takes is a little clever thinking.
You should probably think a little less, Maya.
Quick, Nick, write that number down.
See this? Maya, this is why the cops assumed that you were a criminal. Hey, don't get me involved in your little heist schemes. You know what, Little Terry was just here. Terry? Yep, that kid next door. You always used to make him cry, remember? He was wearing this tattered old coat. Got himself some whiskers growing out his face. He must be talking about Detective Gumshoe. He comes up and tells me to come down to court tomorrow.
Really?
Maya, maybe we should be leaving.
I think you're right.
Hello, Sad Panda is sad. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. Hello, how are you?
Oh, wait. I had one more question.
Huh.
Polly, Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk. Don't forget DL6, squawk. Huh? What did she just say, Nick?
Oh, you're good. That's good. I'm all right. I'm doing okay with a nice little evening here, hanging out with our little classroom environment, hanging out with our little learning community. Make sure that you review our lesson from today if you missed it. Why don't I play the video at the very end so that everyone who missed it can see? Ahem. One more time, Polly.
Don't forget DL6, squawk.
What? The DL6 incident? Hey, Dad. Zzz. Oh, he's out. Who is this old guy? Why would that bird Polly know about DL6? Good, Sad Panda, yes. That will be on the homework. Letting me know if you tried the sleep techniques and the breathing practice and the stretches.
Oh. What? He locked the door from the other side.
Who could that old man be? I think I need to do a little bit more research on this DL6 incident. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe. Good idea, Nick. Let's go do exactly that. Ah, Sad Panda, if you can get 3 more hours of sleep, you'll give it a shot. Very good. You should. It should give you at least a little bit more. Hey, pal. Long time no see, eh? Eh? Sorry, I did a little Canadian accent there for some reason. Noma, you made some progress on the sleep ritual thing, though tonight your sleep ritual shall be longer and more elaborate. I see. I see. Again, be safe. Be good. You don't look so happy, pal. What's wrong this time? Actually, we wanted to ask you something. Yeah? Tell me about this boat caretaker now that I know the name of the witness. You know the boat rental shop guy down at Gourd Lake? Oh, yeah. The old man who runs it is appearing as a witness in court tomorrow, right? Huh? How'd you... That was supposed to be top secret, guy. Do you know who that old man is, Detective? Actually, I don't. He's a bit of an odd bird. I haven't been able to get a straight answer out of him. I decided first that he wasn't persuasive enough to stand and testify as a witness, pal. And that's why we called Miss Lotta Hart yesterday. As for who he is... Oh, Princess... Sorry, Gumshoe. Let me get these spitballs off of me. We have absolutely no idea. Sounds suspicious. Okay, tell me about DL6. Okay, Aurora. Okay. You wanted it. You're going to get it. You wanted to be moved down to Bad Noodle, and you're going to get exactly that. You made me do this. I wish you hadn't made me do this. Oh, Aurora and Sad Panda were supposed to go to bed. Well, if you want to stay up and watch, that's fine. It's okay. But, Aurora, you are moving down to Bad Noodle. Sorry, I can't take that away now. Sorry, but you've gone and done it. Detective Gumshoe, please help us. Huh? We need to know about the DL6 incident. And thank you for the gold stars, Empress. Thank you, thank you. That was when Edgeworth's father died. All right, Aurora. Off to bed. Yes, indeed. Get some good rest. Follow our sleep practices. Do that breathing exercise before you go to bed and when you wake up, and we'll talk about it in our next class. See you later. I can't help but thinking that it has something to do with this current case.
To tell the truth, I don't know much about the DL6 incident either. Mr. Edgeworth forbade us from reading the file, so I'm afraid I can't show them to you either, pal.
Wachow.
What? However, if you can convince me somehow that the DL6 incident is related to the case, well, I guess I'd consider opening the file up.
Well, how are we supposed to do that? Oh. We have the bird, which we have taken with us, apparently.
What's that? A parrot?
Yeah, that's a parrot. The parrot knew about the incident. Yep, it's true.
That incident?
Bit Shepherd, the red pen bothers you. It does kind of look like a straw coming out of his head. His empty brain. Yes, yes. DL6.
What?
Polly, have we forgotten something?
Squawk.
Don't forget DL6.
Squawk.
Oh yes, in case Aurora is still here watching. If this would actually copy here. There we are. Sorry, Aurora. You're going into bad noodle territory. Next to punished bags. Sorry. That's what happens. Yep, them's the breaks. That's the consequences. I'm pretty sure that old man must have taught her that word.
Yeah, but how would that old man know about the DL6 incident?
Wait, what if that old man was connected to DL6?
Nick, you think he might be?
I get you. Sounds like you need information on the DL6 incident, eh?
Pal, guy. Through there's the station's records room, pal. I'll give you special permission to go in and find what you need. All right. Way to go, Detective Gumshoe. Okay, Nick, to the records room.
Guess it's time we faced Edgeworth's past. Records room. Oh boy, here we go.
Wow, it's amazing. Lee Dusty.
10 years of files and 10 years of dust, I guess. Well, they haven't modernized this at all, have they?
Let's find that DL6 stuff quick.
15 years ago. Both me and Edgeworth were 9 years old. We were almost through with 4th grade when he suddenly transferred. Because of DL6?
Nick, I found out where the file is.
Oh, thanks.
Just let me know what you want to know about the DL6 incident. I'll go get the right file.
Okay, tell me about it. Give me the case summary. Well, first I have to get a handle on the main facts, like a summary.
Right. Summary, found it. Here you go.
December 28th, 2001. Hello, Moshi, hello. Welcome, it's good to see you. How have you been? We're having a lovely time in our little learning community here. Investigating a murder. We did some stretching and movement exercises at the start of class. We reviewed our breathing practice. I hope everyone does our breathing exercise before they go to bed tonight. But yes, let me know how you're doing.
That's exactly 15 years ago from the day after tomorrow.
So in 2 days, the case is closed. The incident took place in the elevator of the district courthouse.
What? Is this the same district courthouse where we're holding the trial tomorrow?
Looks like it. There was a large earthquake at 2 p.m. on that day. Okay, well, I mean, that would be why he has a fear of earthquakes. Part of the court building collapsed and all the lights went out. Oh. Oh, you got a new bed for Christmas, Empress. Well, that's an awesome gift. We spend a great portion of our lives asleep. A comfortable bed is actually a very good investment and a very good gift. Congratulations. At the time, 3 people were trapped in the elevator. It took 5 hours for them to be rescued.
That would be scary like that in the dark.
There was a lack of oxygen in the elevator, and the survivors were unconscious.
The survivors? The survivors?
One of the 3 in the elevator had been shot in the heart. That was Mr. Edgeworth's father, wasn't it? He said that his father was shot before his very eyes. So Miles Edgeworth was one of the passengers in the elevator. Tell me about the victim.
Yeah, hold on. Victim, here, found it. Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney. If he were still alive, he'd be 50. He had lost that day's case in court and got in the elevator with his son Miles.
Oh, you're going Christmas shopping later today, Moshi? That's always a fun time. And I'm glad to hear you'll review the exercises real soon. I'm really trying to do that breathing stuff myself in the morning. It's so much better for your lungs to start off the day with a nice round of slow, deep breathing rather than the shallow, rapid chest breathing that we do usually in our modern daily lives.
Miles?
Miles Edgeworth, of course.
So he was in the elevator with his father.
Yes, that's what I've said. Maya. Please pay attention, Maya. From the angle of the bullet and the other evidence, it could not have been a suicide. The pistol had been fired 2 times. Where have I heard that before? Huh. It sounds like this current case. What's going on here? Tell me about the suspect. Got any data on the suspect in there?
That would be the guy that my mom got arrested. Hold on, this is it.
The man arrested as a suspect in DL6 was Yanni Yogi? Yanni Yogi? He was a clerk in the court, apparently. So he must have been the 3rd person in the elevator. Well, then he had to have done it. But he was found innocent, thanks to his defense lawyer, Robert Hammond.
Hammond, the victim in our case.
Right. The suspect, Mr. Yogi, was oxygen deprived, so much so he had brain damage. Oh, the guy is Yanni Yogi. The boat rental guy is Yanni Yogi. He lost all memory of being in the elevator. After he was declared innocent, he disappeared.
Where could Yogi have gone to, I wonder?
He may be closer than we think, Maya. I guess I know generally what happened in DL6 now. I still don't know what sort of impact the whole thing had on Edgeworth.
Nick, are we going to take the whole file? There's too much. We'll never get it out.
You're right. How about we just take what we think we'll need? DL6 case file added to the court record. We're just going to take this file out of police records and take it with us. Because that's how you do it. Right. That's probably all we'll be able to find here. I wonder how Dad will do testifying in court tomorrow. Will we actually be able to get to finish this case? Hammond's all day up in here. It's Hammond's all the way down. December 27th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Gavel. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here, anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well. No opening statements, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now.
Gavel, gavel, gavel.
Order. Order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now?
You're objecting to the judge asking you a question?
Bah, must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste.
Mozart meets Lord Frieza. I'm really doing the wrong voice for a Mozart meets Frieza.
I'll call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand.
It's going to be the bird. Oh no, I was going to say, it's going to be a twist.
Witness, state your profession. I am the proprietor of the restaurant, The Wet Noodle at Gourd Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, I was. Please testify.
Objection. Oh, we have it redeemed. Good redeem. Very good one. We are literally going to do some bird law here, I'm guessing, with Polly. Great episode.
The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Objection. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate.
Yeah, right. Gavel.
The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure, yep. What do you mean? My, memory. Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name.
I mean, someone could have told him his name in the last several years. What?
He can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify.
What? This witness is not competent to provide testimony.
Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Witness? It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight, yep.
Yeah, it's a bit of Dolph Lundgren on there. I really didn't know what I was going for with that, with the Von Karma read. He just has such a deep voice.
I was in the restaurant where I rent boats, as usual. Then I heard a bang, yep. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just a-floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. I must break you. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination.
How is this a decisive witness? He hasn't seen Miles Edgeworth either.
There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now. Yes, Mr. Wright?
Cross-examine. What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness.
Very well. You may begin. This guy's worse than Alex Jones' lawyers. I know, just unbelievable. Unbe-freaking-leavable. Roar! Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma. "3 minutes just passed." "I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness." Thanks for giving me the right to what I have the right to do. "It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight." Yep. Okay, it was the 24th. He was in the building as usual. He did hear the bang. He did see the boat. And he heard another bang. Let's hear more about this man who walks by your window. Also, how would this have been a decisive witness? He doesn't... By your window? Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack. Yeah, indeed, this universe is a head trip, Bit Shepherd. The trial is 2 days after the slaying. The defense attorney has had to do most of the investigation. The witness has not said anything about who actually did this killing. He just said, "I saw someone shoot another guy." Okay, well, yeah, we know a guy shot another guy. Could you tell us who shot the guy? Could you even tell us who was shot? "Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony." Tisk, tisk, tisk. That man was the defendant. He was saying, "I can't believe he's dead." It's tough being a lawyer. Yeah. Hold it. Are you sure? Dad. Dead certain, Keith. He said, "I can't believe he's dead," as he was walking by, too. Gavel, gavel, gavel. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Nick, I don't like the way things are going here.
Neither do I.
Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us.
I'd better act quick or this trial is going to be over. Objection. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Exactly. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true. Okay. This witness claims that Edgeworth said, "I can't believe he's dead." But his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie. Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof.
Nick, do we have evidence?
Empress, you would say this is more strange than the real-life court system that we have? To be honest, I don't think something like this would bear out in the ordinary. No, not usually. Ours might not be much better, but it is certainly more mundane and boring. This is exciting, but awful.
Are you sure?
To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore.
Please, can you hear me, sis? We need your help.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Gavel. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, guilty, and that's how it goes. That's it, huh? To be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. Wait a minute. Hold on. To be held pending trial at a higher court? What? How does this work then? Is this more like a grand jury trial? Where it's just to see if they can be... Or is that just a sentencing hearing? I'm so confused about the way this works. Or doesn't work, apparently. Gavel. Wait! Who was that just now? Me! Huh? What? Larry, what are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? Bailiff clubbed this man. Actually...
We must make sure that you do not appear here again. Bailiff, whack his pee-pee.
Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Gavel. Order. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for joining, Moshi. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for becoming an honor student. Welcome to the honor roll. It is good to have you with us. Welcome to Teacher's Pet category. Thank you, thank you. A+, an A+ for you. And Twitch just added new emote slots, so I'll be adding some new emotes, both to the free tier and to the subscriber tier. Yes, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So, you say you heard a gunshot? Yes, there they are. There are our little ferret emotes. Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience, listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Gavel, gavel, gavel. Order, order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. Really? Your court seems pretty wild, man. It seems like anything can happen here.
I'm not quite sure how to proceed.
Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over.
Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this.
She's right. If only it wasn't Larry Butts. He could make things even worse. I don't see how your client has been declared guilty of murder.
Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse.
Wait, he was just thinking that. How did she know what he said? He was only thinking that. Now she's in his head? Is she even real? Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Gavel. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? It's called justice, you old creep. Now get some. I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. He's the judge. He can do whatever he wants. Judges have unbelievable amounts of power in our system. Can't imagine how it is there. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now! Oh, the judge finally got some guts, got some fortitude. What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness, Mr. Larry Butts. Court is adjourned. Whew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there.
Larry was at the lake that night.
Yes? He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake.
Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night.
Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? Other than the fact that you were almost declared guilty of murder that you didn't commit. It's nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
What's that?
Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon?
I think that's a question we should have asked him a long time ago. Empress, you have a gavel and a plank? That must be fun to sort of just bang on that and pretend that you're the judge. I wonder why we do it like that. I wonder why we have like just a hammer and a plank of wood. How did that come about that someone decided that's what we should use as an attention-grabbing thing? I think I remember in a Star Trek episode, the Klingon court used like a big round stone and they just bang it on the metal, or the metal desk. Who decided that? When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I happened to be wearing my lawyer clothes. Right. Yeah. This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. He only takes sure-shot, guaranteed cases? This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right?
That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth.
Milk. Yummy. Hey, it was 15 minutes. All right, Larry Butts. What do you have to say for yourself? Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Oh no. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Eek, yeah, you're in a rough spot when Larry Butts is your last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night, I was out on a boat in the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. Empress, if the court was real, it would break every human rights law. Yes, indeed it would. It was... this is a very horrible system. It's not the best one they could do, for sure. Look at the look on this guy's face. This is what he looks like when he's trying to think. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Okay. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
What's wrong, Nick?
It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared.
Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick.
Okay, he was looking for something, and he did find it. I won't make him tell the embarrassing story. A single gunshot? I don't think so. We know there were two, and how do we know? How do we know that? I heard two sounds like gunshots just after midnight. Present evidence. Wait a second, Larry. Or Mr. Butts. What? You only heard one bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts. What? You only heard one gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Eh? Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I, might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else?
My radio, dude, with my headphones.
Oh no.
What?
Order, order, and stop that booing. They're booing Larry Butts on the stand. Oh, they're booing him. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones?
Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal?
Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Continue. Tell me, Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. You don't know that you've lost, buddy. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio.
Right, leave it to me.
I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me.
It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it, too.
You were listening to your radio at a high volume.
Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country?
It's certainly not a free justice system. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drumbeat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Objection. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says the things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. I'd like to smack this witness, Your Honor. Okay, so tell me exactly what he said. What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said do us, blah blah. Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason we should care. We should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Huh, wait a minute. It's almost Christmas? The murder happened after midnight. The murder happened after midnight. So that's the 24th or the 25th. The empty lake is taken at 11:50 before midnight. Objection. Yeah, the picture. Oh, the picture. Yeah, the picture's before. I thought we had the picture of the shooting. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. You're literally sweating bullets. I can see them coming off of your face. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But that contradicts the 2 testimonies we have heard so far, Your Honor. Yeah, the sound-activated cam at 11:50. Both Miss Hart and the old man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. A tasty contradiction it is indeed. Order. Order. What does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butts' claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? Larry's obviously got to be right. And it's because of the sound-activated camera there, Bitch Shepherd. Yes, yes. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. This one right here. Take that. Hey, class. Hey, class. What does he say? Got you again. Got you one more again. Look at this photograph indeed. You got Nickelback yet again. That's going to be a thing in this class, I'm sure. We're going to have our own little language. We're going to know what a monkey wrench is. We're going to know what it means to be Nickelbacked. The Throngler. That's a real throwback for the OGs in our classroom. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. You would rather get throngled than Nickelbacked, Bitch Shepherd? Well, we'll see about that next time we play a game where there's a throngler. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. Chad Kroger. I can tell you his name, Nomaken, off the top of my head because I went to a Nickelback concert once. And I remember his name is Chad Kroger, a proud Canadian. Yeah, there you go, Cyrus. I think I saw an interview of him and one of the other members with Nardwar. He seems like a nice guy. I don't have anything against him. And as I've said in the class before, they have an album before that one that got them really famous. You know, with that song, This is how you remind me of what I really am. There was an album before that called The State. And I actually like that album. There's a really good acoustic song on it. Nardwar the Human Serviette, yet another famous Canadian. Bitch Shepherd, Carlos Santana elevated Kroger to a genuinely good song. What one was that again? But yeah, in that first album, The State, there's a song called Leader of Men. They have a regular version and an acoustic version. I like that. It's actually not bad. Oh, Cyrus, did you miss the part with the bird in this case? There was some bird law happening in this case. Yeah, there was a large parrot named Polly, of course, who was a key piece of evidence. In fact, they're in the court record. This bird, the erstwhile companion of the boat shop caretaker, answers to the name Polly. Polly, Polly, tomato, tomato. What a pretty bird. Pretty bird. Pretty Polly. They do look like a demon. And they squawked at us. They squawked. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Ah, correct. No, you can't trust parrots, Cyrus. They're devious little creatures. You can't trust. Yeah, those white parrots. They look. They're mischievous. See, now crows are mischievous too, but they're a fun, playful, delightful kind of mischievous. You know. You can also not trust a magpie unless you are willing to offer something in return for that information. Magpies are the keepers of knowledge, but they will only give it to you in bits and pieces. They will only give you a half of the information. And you'll have to give something up for it to get it. Unless I have just completely made this up from the game Ghost of a Tale. But you should all play Ghost of a Tale because it's a wonderful little indie game. There's a delightful little mouse and some lovely magpies. It's probably the best game I've ever played that was made by a single person. I've never seen a game that actually had like a full 3D, beautiful environment and everything, and a great story that like a single person made. I would say it's overall a better game than Undertale because it's so impressive that a single person made a full like 3D experience. Hold on, let me bring up. It's just sort of wild that this guy was able to do this. And a sequel is coming. I'm so pleased. The maker was a veteran of DreamWorks. He had never actually made a game before, but he was a veteran storyteller and animator with DreamWorks. He'd worked on movies like The Prince of Egypt. Let me get to some gameplay here. So there you are, the little mouse hiding. It's a very stealth-based game because you're a little mousy boy looking for your lost wife. So beautifully crafted, lovingly made. You play a little barred mouse trapped in a dungeon and trying to escape to find your lost love. Some wonderful, iconic little characters. It is an adorable game. It is a bit fetch questy, but it's good that it takes you throughout the environments more than once so that you see everything. It's very much like Redwall, Empress Hold. The creator, said that was one of his big inspirations was Redwall, and it was sort of had a Legend of Zelda type of feel. At any rate, I've gone off on a tangent, but I just love that kind of indie game. Something that someone has poured a lot of love and attention into. A beautiful story. Very melancholy story. Which is something that you know about me. Being someone who loves Hollow Knight and Night in the Woods. Those kinds of stories with a lot of mixed emotions. A lot of somber tones, but with that tinge of hope. Yes, indeed. I'm so excited for the sequel. Anyways, back to this murder trial. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. Anyway, what did you think about that game, class? What do you think about Ghost of a Tale? Would you play that? I recommend you do so. That is why this photograph was taken. Look at it. Observe this image, otherwise known as look at this photograph. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots, with a 25-minute pause between them. Gavel, gavel, gavel. Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises. Yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 p.m. was indeed a gunshot? I certainly hope so. Wait a minute. Has the pistol said this the whole time? That the weapon was fired 3 times? This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. I realized the truth. Thank you, Bit Shepherd. Thank you for the gold stars. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. How? Order. Order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why? Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? What's wrong? What's wrong, Nick? I have it. I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? How could we forget? Oh, Bit Shepherd, this man never expected Phoenix to last longer than 3 minutes. He does seem to, most of his cases, they don't go very long. They don't last more than a few minutes. He doesn't seem to go very long. They don't seem to last more than a few minutes. Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? He's already guilty. I mean, why not? We've got nothing to lose. Exactly, Phoenix. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has just cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Mr. Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. Pow! There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the man on that boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15 minutes after midnight. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. Ah, Bit Shepherd, yeah. If they were able to determine how far the shooting was, 1 meter, because the bullet was not deformed very much, shouldn't they be able to recover powder? Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. Edgeworth and the murderer. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. This is a wild theory. What? Are you serious? Yes. Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's Yanni Yogi, but we don't know that yet. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. Ding! The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of the crime was not on the boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? At the boat shop. Yeah. Here, of course, the boat shop, where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. Yeah, we never asked him, like, how loud was the gunshot? How far away was it? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, are you sure about this?
Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop guy. Of course it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. Create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Everyone's just like, what? Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He wasn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do?
Find him, quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared.
A search warrant has already been issued. How? You're not a judge. You don't issue search warrants.
It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. Gavel. Wow. What a twist.
Yay, Nick, you did it. Yeah, well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Yeah, it was something else that we had to make him stop lying again. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases wasn't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Well, at one point it literally was you on trial, and at another point it literally was me on trial, so yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. Yeah, smile, sweetie. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now. And I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. Yeah, let's save our progress up till this point. Phoenix and Edgeworth. Yes, indeed. It does seem to be that way, doesn't it? Well, class, I'm not sure what time it is for you there, but we've been going for almost 4 hours. I do want to do one last thing before we go. We didn't get a specific time with our ferrets, Moki and Ori. We showed them in our little lesson video. So, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Something a little bit different. And I'm going to give us a little bit of a take-home message. Yes, indeed. I've done this particular little song and dance once before, particularly from our first class session, but that was a couple months ago now. And maybe you're new and you haven't heard it. And I want to do it right this time. So I hope you'll bear with me if you've heard it before. Just a minute or two. Then we'll get to our homework and our little field trip. So put on your listening ears. In what I do, in teaching health, social and emotional health, they're a foundational pillar. So I like to relay a story from a speaker named John Ortberg. When he was a child, he was playing a board game with his family, and he was losing. And he was sulking and pouting, as kids often do, taking it very poorly. His grandmother took him aside and asked him, "When this game is over, what happens? What happens to the game and the pieces and the board?" "They all go back in the box." It all goes back in the box. She reminded him that what's left is the memory of the game, the feelings that you had, the connections you made with those playing with you. It's something for all of us to keep in mind, because I often say that the most important thing in life is our relationships with others. And the way I describe it as is with threads. Every interaction we have, everything we do and say to other people, is a thread that's woven into the fabric of their lives, and they for us. The tapestry of our lives is filled this way. A thread might be so small that it can hardly be seen. A single word or even a glance in passing. But everything affects us. Every ripple has waves extending outward. I'm mixing metaphors, but you get the idea. Someone having a bad day, distressed, unsure, and because you're feeling the same way, you give them a cold glance, or because in their state they cut you off in the grocery aisle and you sneer at them. That little interaction makes them feel worse. They get just a little worse sleep that night. Maybe the next day they do worse on a test than they could have. Or they decide they don't feel good enough to ask out their crush, that they may end up being their soulmate. Or they might not apply for that new job they've been thinking of that could change their life. And the ripple spreads. They may have already long forgotten about your interaction. But it's there, always. Our memories don't go away, even if we can't recall them. And the changes in our minds and hearts are real. On the other hand, you can give someone a boost instead. And all those things can change. I'm sure you've had the experience of how a single compliment is something that you remember for years afterwards. We know how a single compliment or positive statement can often be held on to for years and something we go back to and think about regularly. Imagine how much more helpful that act can be. We never know what someone is truly going through or experiencing, or how our words and actions may affect them, and ourselves. Even a neutral interaction that takes the place of one that could have been unpleasant is a benefit. The things that you do and say matter, and this means that you will always matter. So why have I done this closing a few times? Some years ago, when I was at a very low place in my life, a friend, someone who I'd never met in person, took notice. They would get up early, being in a later time zone, to make sure that they could chat with me at least a few minutes before I left for school that morning, just to tell me they were thinking of me, sending me their best wishes, telling me that I could do it, that I would get through it. And I think about that all the time. We lost touch in the years since. But what they did for me, through a few words a day, for a few weeks at a difficult time for me, helped completely change the trajectory of my life. They wove a thread that, even though it was short, is a bright and prominent spot in the fabric of my life. I can see it even when I look at it from a distance. So when our games are over, I want to be able to tell myself that in each of these classes, what's left is something good, a good memory. So even if our thread together is short, I hope it's a good one. And I hope to see you again next time. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about this class. I see Noma said that having a good mood is obviously infectious, and that's very true. When you go outside and see people and they're stone-faced, but if you go around smiling, it echoes in those around you. It's true. And Noma, you say you wake up every morning at 8 to say good night to a person who lives in Australia. I think I know the feeling. I think I do. I will try to have myself a great night, Shepard. I hope you do as well. I do have to tell you your homework for the evening, of course. I think you know that your homework for the evening will be to try at least one of the 3 things that we've talked about so far in our Self-Care December series. Either go through that sleep health practice, or do a breathing practice in the morning and evening, or do that morning stretching and movement that we did today. Or if you're really feeling ambitious, do all 3 of them. In either event, whichever one you choose, let's meet back here tomorrow night when we'll have our next session. We have our next scheduled session for tomorrow. Let me make sure that I remember what it is. What is our next session on here? What do we have here? I think I might have misplaced it. Hold on. I want to give you the correct information. We made a slight change to our schedule recently. Oh yes. Tomorrow we will be having a little lesson on keeping ourselves from getting sick during the winter period, during this cold and flu season. How to prevent cold and flu, and how to recover once you have it and you start feeling better. How can you recover faster and keep yourself from getting re-sick? So that will be our session for tomorrow. And again, tomorrow we'll talk about if you did any of our practices so far today. But we have a few minutes. If you have anything else you want to say, any other comments, suggestions, questions, insults, rude hand gestures that you might have for your teacher. If Aurora was here, she would have plenty of spitballs for me. What I have for you, though, is, of course, before you go to bed, Noma, you will need a lesson on hangover recovery tomorrow. Well, that hydration will help you, certainly. Drink a nice tall glass of water before you go to bed, perhaps with an aspirin, and a nice tall glass of water in the morning. Very timely indeed, Bit Shepherd. I couldn't agree more. If you have any other hangover tips, I'm sure our class, we are adults here, would be grateful for that. Remember, you can also bring tips for any of the topics that we go over. So tomorrow, if you have tips for your cold and flu season, what you do to keep yourself from getting a bug, or how you help yourself recover, bring those with you tomorrow. I think this is the first Saturday night stream we'll be doing. At any rate, let's figure out who we're going to take our little class field trip to. Let's see if we know someone who's currently streaming. Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Let's see, we could watch some Terraria, some Fortnite. How about some Super Animal Royale? Super Animal Royale it is, indeed. Get your field trip caps on. Remember, class, be good on this field trip to our friend's classroom. You're confused, Noma? A field trip. Some people call it a raid, but with our theming here, you know what it is. It's a field trip. Behave yourselves, be good, follow that classroom's rules, be a good representative of your class and of each other. We are a wonderful group here. I'm so glad that I was able to spend this time with you all. I hope to see you tomorrow. Until then, do good, be good, and class dismissed.
Oh my god, thank you for the raid. Oh, thank you for the follow. Empress Hold TV, welcome. Hope you're doing alright. I'm just gonna eat the bananas. Hi, welcome, how are you doing? Hope you're having a nice evening. Welcome to my stream.
Percent response percent.
You okay? I'm doing pretty good. Oh, the sniper rifle, bro. And so many... Oh, I thought that was one left. I mean, I thought there was none left, rather. There's sniper.